1, 2, 3.
Hello and welcome to Kayfabe Is Dead podcast, episode 5. I'm Christian and I'm once again solo. And today I'm so not used to being alone. It's really weird, but I'm getting more comfortable with it, so that's a good sign, right? Anyways, I will be talking about Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night Smackdown Live. And maybe I'll throw some news in there as well. I think I might have to throw some news in there very soon. If not this podcast, next podcast episodes, I'll throw in like a week of news. And I'll talk about what we missed, what happened, and all that to keep everybody updated if you're not in tune with WWE, or just if you want my opinion, and if you are in tune with WWE, if you want my opinion on the situation. But maybe that's for another day. For now, we're going to talk about Raw and SmackDown, rate the shows, compare them, and decide which one is better. Not going to be too long of a podcast. I just recorded my Wrestlemania Dream Card podcast, and whew, it's something, man. It's something very special, and I loved doing it, as well as I've been dying to do it. And truthfully, in the beginning it's hard because it might start off so slow, just because, the earlier matches, the pre-show matches, they don't really need too much build to it. But when I talk about the main events, I go like 5 minutes, 7 minutes in depth of just build up and storylines and even some promos. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I was supposed to have a drop yesterday. I'm sorry, was busy. Valentine's Day, I do have a girl, so gotta keep each half satisfied. But it probably will come out tomorrow, Thursday the 16th. Yeah, tomorrow is the 16th. So let's get right to it. Monday Night Raw. Now, I did miss the opening segment. I'm not gonna lie, but I did rewatch it, and I at least saw what the YouTube WWE posted. But what I seen, I'm not gonna talk about everything on Raw, just highlights and maybe even the lowlights. It seemed like Stephanie McMahon came out, Roman Reigns interrupted her, the whole usual, and Roman Reigns wanted Braun Strowman, and, Stephanie being who she is, didn't give Braun Strowman to her right now, said that's gonna have to wait till Fastlane, and yeah, that was really just the opening segment. And Braun Strowman was to have a match later that day, and so was Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns was to have the match right after the segment, and it was against the Bullet Club, or the Club, if we talk in WWE. And no disqualification. Bullet Club got disqualified because they were just beating up Roman Reigns too much. They were abusing the whole 2-on-1 stipulation of a handicap match. And Roman Reigns, of course, looked strong, broke out of them, and he ended up looking victorious, even though it was a disqualification, you had the club basically shy away from Roman Reigns at the end of the day, and it is what it is. You can't have Roman Reigns look bad, right? It's the same old repeated cycle that we're used to. The thing is, you can't expect to get more of a reaction from me at this point, because it's the whole same tiresome process, so whatever. We had New Day basically be as stale as possible, and they need to have some type of direction right now, because they're not in the they're not in the tag team division right now. They're not really in the contention for the title, but they're just basically floating along with little jobber feuds, and it's kind of getting me tight with the Titus O'Neil now as Bo Dallas. Kofi Kingston eventually defeated Bo Dallas in a match and poured popcorn on his face. It had to do something about an ice cream bar. I have no idea. The New Day has to be revitalized. They either got to have a heel turn, or they got to be, they got to be given something new and something that we haven't seen. And I know it's hard because this group been together for so long, but make it work, man. You guys got a room full of writers, and you're just pouring the same stale-ass material down our throats that we're tired of seeing at this point. And I don't want to chant New Day Rocks anymore. I want to chant Get Off My Screen, because it's not becoming fun. And it's really not, because they finally had something going with something new with the New Day. Ironically, it was really something new that we haven't seen either in forever or a long time. And now we're tired of it, because WWE it's just, it was good while it lasted moment. You know what I mean? and they just overwhelmed their stay, and they need to do something else. But that's all I'm going to talk about that. We had Jack Gallagher versus Noam Dar again. I like this. Cruiserweights in the first hour, and main cruiserweights in the first hour. Jack Gallagher, who is the number one contender after putting on a perfection of a performance last week on 205 Live in the Fatal 5-Way. Put on a great match, and they showcased him in the first hour. Crowd seemed pretty into it to me, and that's what we want at this point. Jack Gallagher won with the double drop kick to the corner. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I know he hit the crazy big headbutt on him, lead him to the corner, hit the double drop kick, and Neville came out, gave him the stare down. Really good stuff. Cruiserweight division is on a rise right now. They took a while, but I think they're definitely improving, and now that you got somebody of Neville's stature to wrestle him, it's going to do them justice. So, shout out to the Cruiserweight division, 205s. They're putting it on right now. Next. All right. I might talk about this one for a little bit. So, this whole Emmalina thing. Emmalina debuting, it's been going on for weeks, months now. And this podcast is fairly new. Kayfabe Is Dead just started the day after Royal Rumble. So, we never really discussed anything. We never at all discussed anything with Emmalina, Emma, nothing. So, what has been happening, for those out of tune with WWE and just listening, Emmalina was a person formerly known as Emma. You may know her. She got injured after basically she was on the come up again. She was on the come up again for sure. And she got injured and then repackaged as this new person, Emmalina. Yeah, she just got Lena added to her name. But okay. And they started showing vignettes of her. And it was basically just her being real sexy. Sexy and... Man, when they repackaged her, I think they repackaged her face and body too, because she really came out there looking bad. And it would just tease coming soon, coming soon. At one point it said coming next week. That never happened. Apparently they didn't have time for her in the schedule. Then they teased this again, coming soon. And then finally last week it said coming next week. So at this point you're wondering if it's true or not. Happened to be true. Emmalina came out, cut a very awkward promo, to say the least, and talked about, I'm going to go be Emma again, or something like that. It was confusing. If I'm over here taking notes of something and still don't get it, that's failure of WWE. It's like a teacher who, if she's teaching the material, and her whole class fails, and she just complains is because, like, her material she complains that, like, her class ain't trying hard enough. Meanwhile, your whole class fails. You know what I mean? If WWE is trying to push something, and we don't get it, that's not failure of our lack of knowledge. That's failure upon yourselves, and I'm confused. Is she really turning back into Emma? Did we really just wait 4 months of her debut because she's been cleared for Lord knows how long, and we've been hyping up this Emmalina person who, alright, you know what, Emma didn't work in WWE. She's a great wrestler, but her character didn't work, so whatever, repackage her. Cool, I'm okay with that. All to just be like, alright, well, I'm gonna go back to my old me, I'll be back later. I'm so confused, and it's very disappointing because I was actually excited for her return. I thought it might have been like an Eva Marie gimmick, and she actually has the capability of wrestling, so that would have been great. But WWE, I mean, whatever you wanna. Tell me what you think of that. Am I the only one? Was I the only one confused by the promo as well? Because I didn't realize like she even is gonna go back to her old Emma ways. Until, like, I heard other people talk about it, and I was like, did I miss that? I know she said something about returning to Emma, but I didn't know if I don't know. I'm so lost. I'm lost in my words right now. Like, that's how confusing I am. Anyways, after that, we had a segment of Triple H talking to Owens, so just keep that in mind. We couldn't, as an audience, understand what they were saying, but keep that in mind. Next up, we had Mark Henry versus Braun Strowman, and what can I say? They actually put on a decent match. You know, 2 bigs like that, you don't expect a good match. But Braun Strowman delivered another good match. all for Reigns to come out at the end, and it is what it is. Reigns end up on the bottom of that again. Braun Strowman looking strong as ever, building him to perfection. I like how Reigns, it looked like almost Reigns was going to shy away for a second, but they showed that Reigns is still going to fight. I just don't know, are they really keeping this guy a face or not? Because I thought maybe after the Undertaker thing, they'll make him a heel for sure. It's just hard in that situation. If you're going to make him a heel, do you have him shy away or do you have him attack? But I think they did do what's right in having him go attack, because that is his character as of right now. So either way, he ended at the bottom of it, at the bottom of Strowman. So he's obviously the face still. Hopefully that changes very soon. Next up, we had one of the highlights of the show. Honestly, in this show, I had 4 highlights out of a 3-hour show. Now, I see all the people I follow, Wrestling Inc., Solid Monster, great people. They put up like polls after, and even WWE put up polls after, and it gets either a thumbs up or a thumbs down, obviously. That's the poll. How do you like the Raw, or how do you like the Smackdown? And it's always reflected almost off of what people last see. So it's kind of hard for me if I would give it a thumbs up. I know I haven't finished talking about the show. I just want to talk about this because the first half was terrible to me, and then the second half was really, really good. So is it a thumbs up or is it a thumbs down truly? Like, let's not be fooled and act like this was a great show. Because really, half of it was great. And again, that's what I'm saying. If an hour and a half of it was great, imagine if it was just 2 hours long. Rest my case. Nevertheless, we had a Samoa Joe interview with Michael Cole, and damn, was this amazing. It was really just Joe again talking about how Triple H was there for him when nobody was. And Michael Cole kept mentioning Seth Rollins and kept mentioning Triple H to the point where Samoa Joe was like, is this about me or is it about them? And Samoa Joe just came off as a genuine badass. And he was like, I'm not a Sami Zayn. He's not satisfied with just floating around. He wants to be on top and over everybody. And this is exactly the Samoa Joe character I wanted at the main roster, and the Samoa Joe character that they needed for this main roster, especially Raw. So, good shit, Samoa Joe. You just proved you could cut a promo better than 90% of the company on your first real chance of getting your own promo time. So, big ups to you. That was really a great promo. Watch it for yourself, guys. Just watch the clip on YouTube if you don't want to tune into a whole 3-hour show. Watch a clip on YouTube. It's really just, you forget that these wrestlers are half-time or part-time actors, really. They got to act like a person that they're not. So when we say cut a good promo, we're just basically defining them as if they're a good actor. And are they a believable actor? So, Samoa Joe, win an Oscar, man. Oscar-worthy promo, because that was great. Next up, we had a very interesting match, and I'm glad they're utilizing both of them. It's Sami Zayn versus Handsome Rusev in the flesh. He's back. And really great match. Great match. Literally, what a mid-card match should be, because Rusev is really getting floated around in this ocean right now, and he has no direction, and Sami Zayn has a direction, but they're just not committing with it, as so I thought. Rusev, after brawling a little bit outside the ring, Rusev comes back in after Sami Zayn gets rolled in, and as soon as he comes back in, gets hit with a hellacious Helluva Kick. Ends the match, 1, 2, 3, Sami Zayn with a clean win over Rusev. Good match for him, good win for him, especially. And then he gets an interview after. And then he says, let me see, I wrote it down. Zayn complains about Joe because he said, I'm not no Sami Zayn. So basically, Sami Zayn complains at Joe, saying, you know what, you don't have the right to use my name. whatever. Good promo as well. Good babyface promo. It's just proving, that he's a fighter at the end of the day. And proving who he really is. Until, he was walking out, celebrating his good victory. And Joe whoops his ass. And he has him in the coquina clutch. And this is what I like. This is the little details that stick with my head. He has him in a coquina clutch, or damn near about to put him in a coquina clutch. It was one of the two. And he says, say my name. Say my name. A little bit of Walter White. If you guys ever seen Breaking Bad, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, I don't know where you've been for pop culture for the last 5 years. I don't know how you're watching wrestling and not Breaking Bad, because Breaking Bad was at least the better product. It's done now. Anyways, great shit by Joe. And it had me wonder, this is really the first weeks of Joe. Is this the best ever NXT star debuted besides Roman Reigns and The Shield and all of them? I think the only competition is really Finn Balor. Because I don't think any group ever, even The Shield, they never came out this dominant. I guess that's arguable. They did interrupt the main event match. All right, forget The Shield, because they didn't really have NXT time in general, the actual big NXT show. Is this the best NXT debut ever? The only one else has to be Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. And Kevin Owens, I don't know. Can you consider him? Maybe it's because we know the aftermath of it and how it died out. And we can't really tell so far on this one. It might be too early to say. But one of the strongest NXT debuts I ever seen. Coming for Seth Rollins, gunning for him, beating Roman Reigns, and then beating Sami Zayn. Great shit from Samoa Joe so far. WWE Creative, keep this man busy WrestleMania weekend. Please, I need to see him in a main match at Mania. Please do not disappoint me. I'm begging you. Now, next up, the segment that everybody is speaking of. The segment that was trending on Twitter in 3 different ways. You had the Festival of Friendship, you had Raw, you had Jericho, I think you even had Owens, whole bunch of time. It was trending 4 out of the 20 possible ways it can trend on Twitter. It was the Festival of Friendship. I'm going to talk about this one in depth because it was the best segment of the night, by far. Now, I know what happened in the main event. This was the best segment of the night, by far. I'll speak on that. Now, Festival of Friendship in Las Vegas, Nevada, we had Jericho, and you had vignettes playing the whole night of basically how Jericho and Kevin Owens' friendship formed and progressed and everything else. And so Jericho came out, Jericho and Owens, with a bunch of ladies came out, all, I guess that's how Las Vegas, it gave me a New Orleans, what is it called? Mardi Gras, that's what it's called, Mardi Gras. All right. I had to think about that for a little bit, but I'm not stupid, all right? It reminded me of Mardi Gras for a little bit. These ladies came out in real exquisite feather-looking outfits, all dressed up, and the ring was it had the red mats over it. You had 3 items. You had the big, I want to say it was almost like a TV screen looking thing, but it was something made of almost like a glass material in the middle. And yeah, and it had the big setup for it, and in my mind I was like, oh, you know what happens when something like this occurs, But anyways, so Jericho starts it off, revealing his friendship for Owens, and then he takes off the covers of some gifts. Now the first gift is behind the genius mind of Ralph Guggenheim. I don't know if you guys know him. Not a real person, but it was a statue. It was an art thing. It was a statue of, it was 2 people intertwined together and facing each other. It was 2 people bonded. And, Owens was like, man, what the hell is this, Chris? What is this? He was being Kevin Owens. He was being a douche. And Jericho was like, I spent $7,000 on that. That's rare, this and that, specially made for you, man. Drink it in. And the other gift he revealed was the famous, I think it's Da Vinci. It's the creation of God, or it's called something like that. And it's the 2 people touching fingers. And it was real funny. He had Jericho at the left corner and Kevin Owens both with the championships in the right. And with touching fingers going on. I thought that shit was hilarious. I was really dying, and I won't be surprised if they put that on WWE Shop, to be honest. I don't know if they could do it now after what happened, but anyways. Now, the last thing Chris Jericho revealed was a magician. It had a very reminiscent feel to This Is Your Life by Mick Foley and Mankind and The Rock back then. Had a very reminiscent feeling of that. And he brought out a magician, did, magician things, spitting things out his mouth and just weird shit like that. And Kevin Owens was not impressed, let's just say. Right? And he said, all right, the last one I got for you. Well, he didn't claim it as a gift. He was like, you know what? Goldberg, bring your ass out here now. Music came on, and I was like, whoa. Goldberg's coming out. And then as soon as they didn't cut backstage right away, I knew maybe the music was just going on or something. But no. Somebody came out, all right. They brought back Gillberg. The WWE's version of Goldberg, the comedy version, the James Ellsworth of the 90s or 2000s, whatever you want to call it. They really brought him back. It was funny because he had the beard hair still, all gray, just like Goldberg. I thought it was hilarious. That popped for me. And then Kevin Owens beat his ass, went back in the ring, and he was unsatisfied. He was really unsatisfied. But Jericho explains, and it really got emotional, man. To be honest, it really started hitting the feels. And Jericho was like, man, you really made this last run of my career great, and you just helped me out. And out of all the friends I had in this company, you rank among them all, and you're not even a friend anymore. You're like my brother. And he promised him. He promised him he's going to win at Fastlane, just like he helped him with Reigns, just like he helped him with Rollins, just like he helped him with everybody. And it was Sami Zayn, and he's going to help him, and he's going to have him as the champion because he's his brother and he's his best friend. And he's like the greatest thing he had in his whole tenure of WWE. And it was really getting emotional. And at this point, I was calling off the whole the heel turn, to be honest. Well, not the heel turn, but the turn on each other. Because, one, it's an awkward time to do it with the whole Fastlane coming up very soon, and you figure that's the WrestleMania program. But, so I didn't think it was happening. So I really enjoyed, if the segment was only that, I would have enjoyed it for what it was. But Kevin Owens reveals he got a gift for him. He says, like, it can never amount to everything he did for Jericho. Everything Jericho did for Owens, but he got a little something. It's storytelling at its finest, guys. It was really... Watch the whole thing. I had to show my girlfriend after, who knows Kevin Owens. She resorts to him as Billy, because she says he looks like a Billy. But she likes him a lot. And I showed her the clip. And what happened was Chris Jericho was ecstatic. He got a list from Jericho. He was like, yeah, my old one was getting dirty anyways. It was getting all dinged up. Thank you, man. You got me a new list. Said it was perfect. Then he lifts up the list, and you see the list of KO. And then the first thing you hear Jericho say is, wait, why is my name on it? And you hear the crowd reaction just gasp and like, oh my God, getting ready. And Kevin Owens' facial reactions. And he turns on his best friend, Chris Jericho, and tears him apart. He hits the power bomb on the side of the ring. The hardest part of the ring, by the way, guys. And he completely destroys him. Now, I completely forgot at this point. So invested into that whole segment and so invested into everything. It didn't hit me till after I watched the show that he talked to Triple H. What was that whole thing? Did him talking to Triple H, did Triple H tell him, hey, turn on Jericho, I got your back during the Goldberg match? That's what I'm thinking might have happened. And that's why I said when I said Triple H had a discussion with Kevin Owens and we couldn't hear it, keep that in mind. Because keep that in mind, they did not throw that there for nothing. So now the question is, what did Triple H tell Kevin Owens? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below as I burped, as I hiccuped, or whatever just came out my body. Next up, we have the main event of the evening. Let me, if I can find it. There it goes. All right, we have, well, I'm not going to talk about the Cesaro and Enzo match. No interest in it. It does look like Cesaro, Enzo, and Cass and Sheamus are all going into a feud for Fastlane. Just letting you know. And maybe Bullet Club. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Tag Team Division. If you guys know, let me know, because I'm lost. For the main event. Wow, I didn't know I would talk about this show for this long. But that whole Kevin Owens segment, and then a few rants here and there. I'm telling you, the second half of the show was amazing. We had Bayley versus Charlotte in a women's championship match. Alright, Charlotte has some nasty spots. I gotta take the cat out the bag. Now, Sasha Banks obviously been injured a lot often. And I'm starting to wonder, was it Sasha Banks' fault? Or was it Charlotte's? Because she's really delivering some nasty bumps. She had that nasty bump on Bayley where she booted her to the neck. And then followed that with a moonsault. And she kind of bent Bayley's neck in a weird way. I'm not claiming Charlotte is a bad wrestler at all, as in she's a bad worker, but she's actually a very strong style wrestler, a woman's wrestler, and probably one of the first women's strong style wrestlers that I ever seen, at least in WWE, because that's what I watched the most. So just want to throw that out there. Do you think Charlotte might be the cause of all of Sasha's injuries? Just a question to pose, but ignore that. Anyways. Sick moonsault off the barricade once again. We had a great spot with a Hurricane Rana off the top rope, which I thought she was gonna hit the belly to Bayley off the top. Anyways, Bayley got her in the figure four after going a 12-minute, 15-minute match maybe. Bayley had her in the figure four, and I was like, whoa! This is the crowd is way too hyped. This is getting way too hectic. Can Bayley really pull this off at a Monday Night Raw and not WrestleMania? Is this really going to happen? I don't know how I feel about this. Then Dana Brooke came out, and I was like, oh my God, please interrupt the match. Please, I don't want Bayley being blown away right now. I don't want this moment being blown. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not going to be satisfied with Dana Brooke interrupting. That doesn't make sense in the storyline timeline. Because Dana Brooke hasn't been on screen for 2 months, 3 months. And Bayley comes, interrupts, rakes Bayley in the eye, and then Charlotte puts her in the figure 8. Then Sasha Banks comes down the entranceway, hits Charlotte with the crutch while the ref isn't looking. And it's a new ball game. Sides are even. They get up. Bayley hits the belly to Bayley. 1, 2, 3. We have a new women's champion, and it is Bayley. She done it. She lived. Her dreams are coming true on an episode of Monday Night Raw. Way to waste a moment. Now, should we be tight? Should we be upset? Should we be mad? Should we be angry is the question. I thought about this for a while, and I choose to be angry. Because this is a WrestleMania moment at its finest, and it's blown away now because they wanted to give it away on Raw, and I understand. The moments on Raw seem better than pay-per-view sometimes. But with WrestleMania this close, why would you do this? Because now I feel like we all know the routine. It's going to be Charlotte winning at Fastlane. Her streak is going to stay alive. And what is Bayley going to defeat now at Mania? Is Bayley not going to have a one-on-one match? Is it going to be a fatal four-way? Because that takes a lot away out of the story. We gave away this moment on Raw. I wanted it to be Bayley defeating Charlotte one-on-one at WrestleMania, giving her the big moment, shedding tears, feeling emotionally invested. Not like I wasn't in this one, but we could have waited it out. With WrestleMania this close, we couldn't wait 6 more weeks. Disappointed with how they did that. I'm not going to lie. I'm really not going to lie at all. That's why I was kind of stuck in the middle with this show. Nevertheless, for what it is, if Mania was not around the corner, that would have been one of the greatest moments I ever seen in wrestling in a very long time. Well, the whole woman moments. It's everything that has to do with everybody beating Charlotte for the title at Raw. But at the end of the day, really, Charlotte is going to be a freaking 16-time women's champion at this rate. That's the Big E comment was right, and this one doesn't have to be taken off of the network. Now, Smackdown time. Sorry for dragging the whole Raw out. It's really hard to cut it down because you just start talking and you don't ever really want to stop. Let me take a sip out of my Powerade real quick. I'm saying Powerade like I'm sponsored by them. Give me a second. Alright, to start off Smackdown. Bray Wyatt comes out. No Randy Orton by his side. Commentators were sure to notice that. And he talked about what Sister Abigail told him. Told him how they're going to doubt you. They're not going to want you to make it. This, and that. And I thought it was beautiful. It was a great promo by Bray Wyatt. They had the lights dim the whole time. It's a cool mystique on that championship right now. And it's on a great character. And it gives that title something, man. It's really epic if you really pay attention to Bray Wyatt's entrance when he's holding his candlelight looking thing. He's holding it, and Bray Wyatt's face isn't illuminated. Only thing is illuminated during his entrance is really the belt, because he holds the candlelight like waist width at the waist. What is it called? At his waist. Let's just say he holds the candlelight at his waist, so you really just see the belt lit up, basically, and it looks really dope. It's a really dope visual, and it's little details like that I enjoy a lot. Anyways, as expected, John Cena comes out, says he's still due for his rematch. Let's go! I can do it right now. You know the whole Cena thing. AJ Styles comes out. Hey, I'm due for my rematch too. What about that? And, well, Daniel Bryan comes out, announces that for the main event, and we'll get into that. After that, because we're going to say that for later, of course, the main event, we had American Alpha defeat Ascension. As soon as you thought Ascension was going to get this good push, American Alpha defeats Ascension. Grand Amplitude, Gable pins Victor. What I take from this is Ascension is being taken serious now. So look out for them. They are going to get built back up. Just a loss by the champions, a loss to the champions, that doesn't mean you're getting destroyed. You know what I mean? Ascension has been in the ruts for a year and some change now. They deserve to be built back up, and I think they will. So hold on your faith to that one. Now this is what I liked. Ambrose came out for a match. I kind of forgot he was going to face James Ellsworth. I'm not even going to mention why or how or anything like that. But anyways, as we're waiting for Ambrose to come out in anticipation for the match, he comes out, dragged on the floor by Baron Corbin. Man, did this make Baron Corbin look like an absolute badass. Once again, building these bigs, great when I tell you. He dragged him out. Ambrose had a little fight in him left. It ended up with a crazy, savagely deep six onto a table where there just so happened to be cookies right by it. I really wish I had the cookies. But a really crazy deep six onto a table. Sparks flew from some electricity current. It was great. It made Baron Corbin look so badass. And man, what they're doing with him, I'm excited. I'm excited for this guy's future because he started off real slow. Feuds with Kalisto, feuds with Ziggler. Those days are over for this guy. He'll be a main eventer by 2018, I promise you. Top of 2018, I won't be surprised if I see a championship around this guy's waist. A real championship, the main ones. He'll definitely get that. In my prediction, he's getting the IC title at Mania. Believe that. Next up, we have Nikki Bella and Natalya being announced to have a Falls Count Anywhere the next week on SmackDown. Great idea. Obviously, it should have happened. And I love the promotion a week before. It always gets you more anticipated and excited for the match. So, props to SmackDown Live for doing that again. Next up, we have an actual women's match with Becky Lynch and Mickie James. Solid match again. Not as good as the match they had at Elimination Chamber, but solid. Mickie ended up faking a shoulder injury. You know, the referee was all caught up in her trying to help, get a doctor, this, and that. Of course, it was a fake injury. Mickie James hit a mitt kick won the fight clean. Well, not clean, but, she won the fight. 50-50 booking. Series is 1-1 right now. Definitely not the end of it. Definitely not at all. Next up, another women's segment. Naomi comes out and claims she suffered an injury. Apparently it's on her knee. She was wearing a brace on her left knee. And Bliss comes out, basically says, this is not the right time to make excuses. I'll give you, I think she said up to 2 weeks or 1 week or something like that to get ready and prepare for the match. I want to say 2 weeks, but the way she said it, it didn't really make it that clear. And then she also, she had a funny segment on Talking Smack where she was like, oh man, I forgot how it even got brung up, but she said the Falcons won the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, she said she had a bad week, this, and that. The Falcons won the Super Bowl. And then Daniel Bryan was like, Falcons won the Super Bowl. And she's like, Patriots won the Super Bowl. And then he was like, oh, you're a Patriots fan. You just found out for the first time. You should be excited. It was just funny. He mocked the shit out of her. Watch that one segment. I'm pretty sure she was the first person on Talking Smack. So definitely watch that because it was funny as all hell, man. Alexa Bliss caught looking stupid. Nevertheless, Naomi and Alexa Bliss looks like it's going to come again. Once again, predicting WrestleMania comes, and it's going to be a multi-woman match for that title. Now, our main event. Bray Wyatt versus AJ Styles versus John Cena for the championship. Now, this is where I noticed Bray Wyatt's dope entrance with the title being almost illuminated. And as soon as he blew that candlelight, the supposed candlelight off, Harper was in the shadows waiting for him. Dope. Hit him with a I almost said sweet chin music, super kick, and attacked Bray Wyatt and left. Badass. Went to commercial, as I yawn. Went to commercial, and as soon as it came back, the fight already started. So I couldn't tell you how it started, or if Bray Wyatt rolled into the ring and the match got going. I don't know what happened. The commercial happened. Once again, another awkward commercial. I feel like there was another awkward commercial, but I don't remember where. I know another awkward commercial happened, whether on Raw or SmackDown. So, I'm trying to look at it. Yeah, I really don't remember. I want to say it was Raw. It was an awkward commercial. Anyways, nevertheless, it might have been. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know. If you guys remember what awkward commercial happened, let me know because I didn't write that note down. I thought about it too. Anyways, Wyatt versus Styles versus Cena. How was the match? Was it good? Was it great? Was it not good? It was what you expect. You got Bray Wyatt, John Cena, and AJ Styles. What are they going to do? Not put on, they're going to put on a great match. Put on an awesome match, Just everybody got their spots, and you had a FU on AJ Styles very early in the match. Had me super scared because I was afraid Super Cena was going to win once again. Had me on the edge of it really had me on the edge of my feet, knowing what's going to be the main event for Mania. Well, you know what I mean by main event, but Styles doing a splash on Styles doing a splash on Bray Wyatt on the table. Table didn't break. Crowd chanting one more time. Decides to do it again. Does like a backsplash. And dope once again. The table broke that time. Then, before that he had a Styles clash on. Let me see. Oh no, yeah, I'm right. All right, so we had the Styles table break. See, I'm getting lost in my notes. Styles table break. And then coming out of that, Cena almost hits a double FU on AJ Styles. And at this point, as soon as he hit the first FU, he hits the first one, then he rolls to the second one. As soon as I see the first FU go up and AJ Styles has no signs of reversing, I am scared. I am literally on the edge of my seat. Oh my God. I was terrified. I was like, yo, this is not going to happen. Wyatt just he's sidelined. He's not going to interrupt his pin. Is somebody going to come out? Like, what's happening? Cena rolls for the second one. And Styles reverses that, and all hope for humanity and WWE and the world title is saved. And Cena, he had a close one. Had a very close one. Wyatt comes back in eventually to get FU'd. That gets broken up. Then AJ Styles hits a Styles clash on Cena. And of course, Cena breaks out of it because he's Super Cena, God Cena. Everything revolves around him. And Styles can never solidify a finishing move because it's John Cena. And it's terrible. And I hate it because it's a Styles clash. But At the end of the day, Wyatt hits the Sister Abigail on John Cena. John Cena takes the pinfall. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky clean as a triple threat match can be. Didn't get hit with a steel chair. Nothing of that sort. Alright, here I am thinking, another great match, Smackdown, another one that ended better than how it started. And then Randy Orton comes out, cuts a promo saying, because I won the Royal Rumble, I was destined to face you at WrestleMania, and I refused to. And basically saying he's out of WrestleMania main event. Now, people are scared. People are basically, they're believing it. I don't, personally. And I think this is all just a way to plug Harper into the match. And Daniel Bryan announced that there will be a Battle Royal next week on SmackDown for the number one contender shot leading into Mania. So I'm figuring Harper wins that one, and then Orton basically solidifies the spot. Like, hey, no, I'm back. You know what I mean? He's definitely not going to be a contender, you know what I mean? I think that's what's going to happen personally. And I think that's the right move to happen. I think that's good booking. And Orton scared me a little when he went on his knees. I thought he was going to take a Sister Abigail. Not that it scared me. It was just like, wow, is Orton really that invested into this character? You know what I mean? Is he not playing with Bray Wyatt? Because I think he is. Or I think Bray Wyatt is playing with him, or one of the two. But yeah, it's actually unpredictable and got me thinking. A lot of WWE now, I know who's going to win. I know what's going to happen. I know the storyline ending is going to be this, or that. But for this one, I'm really kind of stuck in the middle. So anytime WWE is unpredictable and has you thinking a little bit, that's when it's most beautiful at. That's when it's really art. So that was SmackDown. Another one that ended better than how it started. Surprisingly, going to give the advantage to Raw this week. I think Raw was a better show. Not a better show. It had its better moments. These were both, I think, bad shows. But Raw had its better moments. And yeah, I think Raw gets it this week. I mean, SmackDown Live next week, though. I don't know if Alexa Bliss and Naomi is confirmed, but Nikki Bella versus Natalya, a number one contender battle royal. If Naomi and Bliss is confirmed as well, that's already a stack. That's 3 great matches. So I'm excited for next week. I can't wait for that one. Give me your thoughts, guys. Stay updated with the channel because not next Thursday, tomorrow or Friday. I don't know when I'm going to put it up yet. It's really whenever it feels right. Because this WrestleMania card that I did, the other podcast, the reason why I'm slurring so much in this one, because I already did an hour podcast and I'm tired and I want to take a nap and I got a test tomorrow that I got to study for. Fuck psychology. Yeah, just be on the lookout for the next podcast because that is the one I'm very excited for. Thank you for listening. Tell me what you thought about SmackDown. Tell me what you thought about Raw. Tell me the stupid commercial spot that I forgot that it was a oddly abrupt thing of a promo. I really forgot what it was. Anyways, just let me know what you thought about the podcast. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud under the name AllOfTheAboveEnt. Thank you for following. Thank you. I can't say thank you enough. Yep. With all that being said, I think I'm good. I'm out.